So we don't wish anyone ill, really, in the television business, such a volatile business. You don't ever want to root for someone's firing. But it's hard not to notice that there's a lot of drama at CNN. First, their top star in primetime, Chris Cuomo, was fired, not exactly why. Then CNN Plus blew up, costing the company hundreds of millions. And then Brian Stelter got canned. If there was ever a firing to celebrate, it would have been his. But even we didn't celebrate. And now, to wreck our day, it looks like Mr. Don Lemon, the source of endless entertainment for us for many, many years, is out. He made the mistake of saying that women over 50 are not in their prime. Oh, yeah, they can have babies, too. So without even taking sides in that debate or being too literal about it, the bottom line is it looks like it's over for Don Lemon. He was not on the air today, which is bad if you're a TV host. Here's how his co-hosts explain why he wasn't there.
President Biden makes a surprise visit to Ukraine. I'm Poppy Harlow in New York, here with Sarah Seidner. Caitlin Collins is live in Warsaw, Poland, where the president will be shortly. Don has the day off.
I mean, you know, no offense to the ladies on the set, but are we on? Let's be honest. Are we going to kind of miss Don Lemon if he's fired? Oh, yeah, a little bit. Steve Krakauer has covered television for a long time and really well. And honestly, he's the author of Uncovered. He joins us tonight. Hey, Steve. So what's going on? Oh, and again, we're not gloating in any way, but I know that you would know the answer. What's going on there? It seems like the place is like on the way to collapsing.
Yeah, you know, Tucker, I was a colleague of Don Lemon, as you say, not too long ago, less than 10 years ago. And it seems like there's been, you know, a real fundamental shift at the network. I mean, it started, you know, only 3 or 4 years after I left during the Trump era. I think one of the biggest examples during the Trump era of the media that really just went off the rails. I write about it, an entire chapter on it, not just my experience, but chapter of the experience of other people that worked at the network and what happened there as well. And now you have Don. You know, Don was one of the stars of that era of CNN. He was a big primetime host. He's already been relegated to the morning show now. And it's sort of this relic of the old administration that's they're trying to dig themselves out of. You know, Don was a big star. He was like an influencer. And this really is one of the big problems of the media in general right now. You know, Don kind of bought his own hype. And I think that when he made that comment about Nikki Haley, he thought he was criticizing a Republican. He thought he was criticizing someone you're allowed to criticize, when in reality he didn't realize he's criticizing basically all women, and now all of his colleagues are mad at him. So I think it's a big problem with digging themselves out of this hole that they brought themselves into because of a lot of factors that happened only a few years ago during the Trump administration.
I mean, Don Lemon is dumb and kind of crazy, but he's always been, and that's sort of the appeal. So if you put someone who's dumb and kind of crazy on TV, you expect him to say dumb and kind of crazy things, and like, that's hilarious. What was his crime exactly?
Yeah, I do wonder if in the olden days, which again, we're talking about a few years ago, back when, you know, when things were going so much better for Don Lemon, as you say, this sort of thing might have been swept under the rug, you know? I mean, let's just stack up what he said about Nikki Haley with all of the things he said about Donald Trump or other people in that administration. I mean, it's not even close. So, but I do think that there's a new mandate there, and Don's sort of out of favor right now because it's just not really the direction of the network. I mean, you know, we saw during the Trump era, and we've seen since then, a total lack of introspection. I get at this in Uncovered, just about every story. I mean, they make mistakes and they don't apologize, and then then it just the trust in the media just keeps getting lower and lower. And obviously, CNN is trying to dig themselves out. They need to improve their ratings. It's kind of in the tank right now. Don is kind of he might be a casualty of that.
Yeah, and Nikki Haley is a crazed neocon, and you're not allowed to criticize them, I've noticed. So that may play a role too. Steve Krakauer, great to see you tonight.
Thanks,
you.
Tucker.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson Tonight.